Have you ever wished you could just grab your work computer, all your files, all your apps, everything set up just right, and access it from literally any device anywhere? Well, that's not science fiction. Today, we're diving into the tech that makes it happen: virtual desktop infrastructure. So let's start with a big question, because for a lot of businesses, the answer is a hard yes. That good old physical desktop computer, the one that's been the heart of the office for decades, it's starting to create some serious modern-day headaches. I mean, just think about it. You've got the endless cycle of buying expensive new hardware, not to mention the power bills to keep them all running. And security? Oh man, every single laptop is basically a potential backdoor for threats. For your IT team, it's this exhausting game of whack-a-mole, trying to patch and update hundreds of different machines. The bottom line is, this old way of doing things just wasn't built for how we work today. So what's the fix? Well, it's a different way of thinking, called Virtual Desktop Infrastructure, or VDI for short. The whole idea is beautifully simple. What if your desktop wasn't tied to that physical box on your desk? What if it lived in one secure, central place, like the cloud? Here's how it works. VDI takes your entire desktop, your operating system, your software, your files, all of it, and runs it on a super powerful central server. Then it just streams it over the network to whatever screen you're using. The best way to think about it is like streaming a movie. The movie itself isn't actually on your TV, right? It's just being displayed there. VDI does the exact same thing, but with your entire work computer. And this isn't some niche tech anymore. Because this approach solves so many problems, the market is absolutely exploding. We're talking a projected size of $25 billion by 2025. A number that big isn't just a trend, it's a fundamental shift in how businesses think about IT.
And that growth is picking up speed. We're looking at about 30% growth year over year. You just don't see numbers like that unless a technology is hitting a nerve and solving some very real, very urgent problems.
So you've got this massive, fast-growing market. And where's it all headed? Straight to the cloud. More than half of all new VDI setups are now cloud-based. It's clear that businesses would rather have the flexibility of the cloud than manage all that complex hardware themselves. Okay, so what does this actually look like when you, the user, want to log in and get to work? It's actually a lot simpler than you might think. Let's pull back the curtain and walk through it. So first, you just log in from your device. Could be a laptop, a tablet, anything. A piece of software called a connection broker then checks to make sure you are who you say you are. Once you're verified, it connects you to your personal virtual desktop. That desktop experience is then streamed right to your screen, and you're off. You can use it just like a normal computer, but all the real work, all the processing, is happening back on that powerful central server. Now, VDI isn't one size fits all. It comes in two main flavors. The first is called persistent. Think of this as your own personal reserved office. You can customize it, leave files on the desktop, change your wallpaper, and it'll all be there waiting for you next time. Then there's non-persistent. This is more like a hot desk. Every time you log in, you get a perfectly clean, standardized desktop. When you log out, it resets. This is fantastic for roles where security and consistency are absolutely key. You also get to choose where this whole system lives. You can go on-premises, which means you run it all in your own data center. You buy the servers, you manage the network, you have total control. Or you can go with cloud-based VDI, which you'll often hear called Desktop as a Service, or DaaS. Here, a provider like Amazon or Microsoft handles all the back-end infrastructure for you. It really boils down to that classic trade-off. Do you want more control or more convenience? All right, so we get what it is and how it works. But the real question is why? Why are so many companies jumping on this train? Well, it really comes down to four huge benefits, four big wins. The first big win is an absolute dream for any IT department: centralized management. Just imagine, you need to roll out an urgent security update. Instead of trying to update hundreds or thousands of individual computers, you just update one single master image. And boom, instantly, every single user is protected. The sheer simplicity of managing everything from one place is a total game changer. The second win is all about security, and this one is huge. Since the desktop and all its data actually live in your secure data center, none of that sensitive information is ever stored on the user's laptop. So if someone's laptop gets lost or stolen, no big deal. The data is safe. This makes meeting strict compliance rules for things like healthcare or finance so much easier. Win number 3 is for the user. It's all about freedom and flexibility. You can get your full, powerful work desktop on your personal laptop at home, on a tablet at a coffee shop, or on a super simple, low-cost device in the office. It's what makes secure remote work truly seamless and allows companies to embrace bring-your-own-device policies without giving their security team a heart attack. And the fourth win? It's the one everyone loves to hear about, the money. We're talking serious cost savings. Companies can switch to cheaper, simpler devices, cutting hardware costs by a ton. Since the heavy lifting is done centrally, you save a huge amount on energy. And of course, making things easier to manage means you save on IT overhead. It all adds up to a much healthier bottom line. Now, as amazing as VDI is, it's not a silver bullet. So let's get real for a minute. It's important to understand the challenges and also see where this incredible technology is going next. So let's do a quick reality check. Getting started, especially if you're building it yourself on premises, can have a high upfront cost. And you can't just flip a switch. It takes careful planning and some specialized IT know-how to get it right. Most importantly, the whole experience lives and dies by your network. If the network is laggy, the desktop is going to feel laggy. Simple as that. But looking forward, the road ahead for VDI is just incredibly exciting. We're seeing new solutions built from the ground up for the cloud that are more scalable than ever. AI is being used to automatically tweak performance in the background, making sure everything runs smoothly. And we're even seeing a move toward edge computing, which basically brings the processing power physically closer to you, making everything feel almost instantaneous. And all of this brings us to one final fascinating question. When you have technology like VDI that's making our work more flexible, more secure, and accessible from literally anywhere, you really have to ask, are the days of the traditional physical PC sitting on every desk already numbered? What do you think?